everyone, this is Archive 12 here at Archive Studios and Archive 12 Plays, and today we are continuing our adventures in the Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. Now, just as a preface, before we get too far involved into this episode, I will be saying that because of events that happen in Cold Steel 3, which I have already progressed to, I think, the third chapter in that, and I've already dedicated about 45 or 46 hours into it, that game. Because of events that happened during that, I have decided that I am going to figure out how I can install and update the two games that take place in the city of Crossbell. And the reason why, the games are older and they were designed for the PlayStation Portable, so they definitely have a different feel and sense of aesthetics than these games here. But the reason why I'm planning on playing those games in conjunction to Cold Steel is because those games actually run side by side, timeline-wise, with Trails of Cold Steel, at least the first two games. And you actually meet some of the characters from those two games in the third game. Why does this matter? Well, because without those two games, there's a lot of context that's missing. And to be perfectly honest, there's actually a lot of context missing if you don't play the games that came out before them, which is the Trails in the Sky series. I will not be playing those, however, because I will be playing them, but what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to give you, as events come up, the TLDR versions of what happens in those games, because, well, to be perfectly frank, these games are bare minimum about 40 hours, and that's if you're playing New Game Plus. The Crossbell series I have never touched before, and I will be playing it fresh, meaning it will not be New Game Plus. It's not going to be like the Cold Steel series, where I've already beaten them, and I already have New Game Plus, or I have all this extra revenue in items and whatnot. It's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be much tougher for me, both because it's a different combat system and because of the fact I don't have all this stuff. I'll be earning it as I'm playing it. So all my reactions to that game will be genuine to, you know, what happens on screen, because I've never seen it before. All I know is that the events of those two games line up with Cold Steel 1 and 2, and some of the characters pop up in Cold Steel 3, and I think in Cold Steel 4. So, I will be figuring out how to install Zero no Kakashi and Ao no Kakashi, which are the names of those two games. And as I progress through Cold Steels 1 and 2, I will be running those campaigns side by side. Hopefully, it helps bring some clarification to some of the stuff that happens in Cold Steel 1, 2, and 3, especially Cold Steel 2 and 3, because some of the characters crossover, some of the events crossover, and there's a lot of things that go on that will make more sense if you see it from Crossbell's perspective. Anyway, enough of my rambling about that, because I still need to figure out how to download it. I think I need to actually purchase the game from a Japanese site and then update it to English, so it's going to be a little bit, because it's going to be like a $25 purchase. I've found, quote-unquote, free sites that do it, but I'm not comfortable with that. Oops, just bumped my armrest. I'm not comfortable with doing that, mainly because I don't know whether or not there's going to be any viruses in them, and sometimes those sites don't really work. So I found a site that actually allows me to buy and download the actual file. So I'll be doing that, and then I'll just get the fan-made update that translates it to English. But that's in the future. Probably the first Crossbell episode will probably come out after maybe another episode or two of Cold Steel. Anyway, so getting back to Cold Steel, in the last episode, we had our first free day, and that means that we experienced all of the bonding events that happened during that free day, because I have max bonding points. Not very much happened with those bonding events, with the exception of Elisa's, and most of that was just because of the fact that, well, to be perfectly frank, you know, the characters are still getting to know each other, so they're kind of like, you know, if you just met someone, you wouldn't jump straight into a conversation with them about, like, all the hard stuff and politics and stuff like that. You gotta figure out what their personality is like first. That's basically what these bonding events for the first part of the game are. They get far more interesting as you progress later on. We also ran around both the campus and the town of Trista in order to try and find, various projects that we could help the townsfolk with and the students with. And we, have volunteered ourselves for the student council president, and Toa's very appreciative of it. So, but that wasn't the only thing we did. We also explored the old schoolhouse, which, if you remember from the first 2 episodes, the old schoolhouse is an old dilapidated building on the campus of Trista, and the principal asked us to explore it because weird stuff happens. Well, it turns out weird stuff did happen because the entire layout of the first floor changed. Everything about the dungeon that we went through had been completely altered. And then on top of that, by the time we got to the end of it, we fought some monsters that weren't there before, and a lot of the monsters had changed. We don't know how it happened. We don't know why it happened. We don't know where the original schoolhouse layout went. All we know is that everything is different now. And reporting to Principal Van Dyke, he was very concerned about that, so he's asked us to continue to investigate and see if anything changes in the future. So he's basically made this a permanent request. Continue exploring the old schoolhouse every time you get a chance to. So, yeah. We ended that, if you remember, at the very last scene that I showed off. Sara, our instructor, was about to give us the final phase of our curriculum. And that's where we're going to start off today. I have to go through a little bit in order to get to that point because of the fact that I had to end it abruptly. So my previous save is, I think, a conversation or 2 before where I need to be. So I'm going to speed run through that conversation and then get to the next one. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, we are now starting up here on the practical exam. This is where we left off last time, and I'm excited to start showing you more of this game.
Okay, let's get your practical exam started, shall we? To be completely clear from the outset, this exam is about more than just testing your physical strength and stamina. It's designed to hone in on how capable you are of making strategic combat decisions on the fly. Defeating your opponent quickly is a good thing, certainly, but it won't be enough to score you high marks here.
Huh. Interesting.
So we're going to have to use our heads for this one, huh?
You'll see. Anyway, let's get this month's exam started, shall we? Rean, Elliot, Gaius, you're up first. Please step forward.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Got it.
Poor Elliot.
All right, then. Here we go.
What's that?
A monster?
No. I'm not sensing any life coming from it at all.
That's right. Think of it like a scarecrow. Only it's a moving scarecrow, I guess. Either way, it's not alive. I've set its parameters fairly high, though, so it is formidable. But if you give it your all, I'm confident you can beat it. Probably.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Sarah.
Make good use of your Arcus's combat link abilities, for example, and I bet it'll be a piece of cake. Hint, hint.
Oh.
So that's what you're playing at.
All right, begin.
Winds, give us your blessing.
So what's the parameter? Oh, okay. No one's knocked out during the battle. That's easy.
Leave it to me.
So I can wreck this as much as I want.
My turn. All right, let's do this.
Yeah.
Leave it to me.
Right. Keep it up, everyone.
Oh, no, you don't.
The
It's
main
my
reason
turn.
why I've got these link abilities available to me, as you guys probably remember at the very beginning of this, since I'm playing New Game Plus, I transferred my link levels over, so I've got a lot of high-level link abilities that normally I wouldn't have access to right now.
Now,
Rean, leave it to me.
Like, normally I wouldn't have access to that until
My turn.
a little bit later into the game, but I have access now because I transferred it.
My turn. Let's go.
Got it. Here we go. There. Go.
I'll pick you up.
You're finished.
Boom.
Okay, that was tough.
Nice work, though.
we won.
Don't know how, though.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Excellent use of combat links, too. Seems like the practice you got in the old schoolhouse really paid off.
It just may have.
Oh?
Have those three been training in secret?
All right, on to the second group. Laura, Emma, Eustace. Come forward.
I mean, between Laura and Eustace, they would not have any real problems. But poor Machias looks worn out.
That was tougher than I thought it would be. It does seem like combat links are the key to fighting it effectively, though.
That's rather unfortunate.
Instructor, may I ask a question? What exactly was that marionette we just fought?
Yeah, that thing was weird. Machine, maybe? Never seen anything else like it.
Just a little something I got roped into working with a while back. I'd rather not use it if I don't have to, but I can't deny it serves as a valuable function, and it's rather customizable too. I mean, it did its job quite well during our test, didn't it? So there you go.
I get the feeling there's a whole lot she'd rather not tell us.
Anyway, that brings this month's practical exam to an end. But as you might recall, I told you I had a big announcement for you today, too. Are you all ready to hear what it is? I'll give you a hint. It's about a special part of Class VII's curriculum. Give up? It's really bugging you now, isn't it? Well, I'll come clean. The special task you're about to be assigned is none other than a field study.
Field study?
Oh, I don't like the sound of this one bit.
You'll be split into two groups, A and B, and each sent to a different location. And while you're there, you'll be given a number of tasks to complete. Doesn't that sound like fun?
Your idea of fun's different from everybody else's, I think.
We only just got to the academy, and we're already being sent somewhere else?
Will you not be coming with us, Instructor?
Oh, of course not. It'd be much too easy for you if I were there to bail you out every time the waters of life came seeping in. You've got to be cruel to be kind and all that.
Well, I'm certainly not opposed to a challenge if it allows me to advance my training.
Instructor Valentine, where exactly will we be going, and when?
Ah, yes, about that. As I said, you'll be split into 2 groups, A and B. Each of you, please come forward and take one of these to see how the groups have been divided and where each is being sent.
What?
Throwing Machias and Eustace together that's just a recipe for disaster.
What?
Well, these are certainly some interesting groupings.
Yeah, and also throwing Rean and Elisa together while they're still feuding is another recipe for disaster. I think Sara is playing with fire here.
CELDIC and Parm. Are they both in Erebonia?
Yeah, CELDIC's a market town on the east side of the Empire.
And Parm is situated in the deep south. It's known for its spinners. All that way? How irritating.
I'm less worried about where we're going than the utter lack of sense that went into these groupings.
Unbelievable.
You'll be leaving this weekend and will be out in the field for 2 days' time. Your means of reaching your respective locations will, of course, be by train. So do make sure you're thoroughly prepared, rested, and rearing to go before the big day.
Still haven't been able to apologize to her.
Well, perhaps this is your chance.
We can't exactly avoid working with one another when we're in the same group. I'm sure this is pretty awkward for her too, so I really want to say something, but when am I going to get the chance?
I mean, it really wasn't your fault. You need to stop beating yourself up over this.
Morning, Elisa.
Morning.
You're, early. We don't have to be here for another 20 minutes, you know.
Well, the same goes for you. What time did you wake up?
So awkward.
Around 5, I think? Though I always try to be up by then.
Oh, really? Morning practice? Oh, you haven't joined any clubs, have you? So I guess not.
How does she know that? No, it's just a force of habit. I've gotten used to waking up early. You're in the lacrosse club, right? So I'm guessing you do have to deal with morning practice sometimes.
Yeah, twice a week, apparently. I'm really sorry. Well, why are you apologizing? That was certainly interesting. But no, I really am sorry. I knew it was just an unfortunate accident from the very beginning. I mean, I was on top of you. I kind of lost my head, and before I knew it, I'd slapped you. And you had your hands out like you were trying to catch me, right? So if anything, I should be thanking you.
Don't worry about it. That trapdoor was obviously designed so we wouldn't get hurt from the fall. If I hadn't tried to play the hero, I wouldn't have been pinned under you and none of this would have happened.
There's no way you could have known that, though. No matter how you look at it, I'm the one in the wrong here. So thank you for trying to protect me. And sorry again.
That is adorable. That is so absolutely adorable. I do have to admit, I really do like Elisa. She has quite a fun personality.
No, it's... I mean, you're welcome. Sorry, I have trouble with these kinds of things. My little sister is always getting on my case for being so easily flustered.
Oh, you have a younger sister? That's a question for another time. I think I'm the same way. I've been trying to apologize for the past couple weeks now. But every time I set my mind to it, I always just wound up avoiding you.
Really? You did try to help me out in class last week, though.
Oh, you noticed. I was hoping that would give us a chance to talk. Though you didn't need my help in the end, so it didn't really do much good.
I still appreciate the thought.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear it. Anyway, we've safely established that what happened wasn't your fault, but the result of it is another issue entirely.
Wait, what? I forget. What was the result of this?
The result? What are we talking about now?
Oh, come on! You have to know what I mean.
This is still in regards to the accident in the old schoolhouse, right?
Yes, specifically the part where your face ended up right in my...
Oh, right. That.
You know, and I forbid you from ever thinking about that, ever. Forget it ever happened. Are we clear?
Yes, perfectly. Trying to avoid thinking about it is just going to make it harder to forget, though.
He's right. He's absolutely right.
Huh?
Oh, good morning.
Good morning. A lovely day, isn't it?
You two certainly got here early. Looks like you finally managed to make up, too.
Well...
Yeah, I think we're on good terms now. Thanks for your concern.
I'm glad to hear it. It's been a bit trying watching the two of you simmer these past weeks. And I know Elisa has been desperate to apologize for her behavior this whole time.
Whoa! That's only because I thought it would be awkward for two people who aren't talking to work together in the same group.
Uh-huh.
Don't go getting the wrong idea or anything.
Whatever you say.
Well, as long as the two of you have smoothed things over, that's what's important.
Now that we're all here, what say we head out? The train's not due for a while longer, so this could be a good opportunity. We can swing by a few shops and stock up on supplies before heading to the station.
That's a good idea, actually. The Academy's facilities are supposed to be open early today, too.
Oh, that's perfect. We can make use of the engineering club's facilities before we head out, too.
Shall we depart then?
You can't help but expect that. Good morning, everyone. Are you guys all prepared to leave as well? Morning. Good morning. You're all good to go too, right? Yes. Parm is quite a distance from here. We're not likely to arrive before evening. Considering its relative location, that seems to be an accurate estimate. I guess it is the southernmost town in Erebonia. Makes you realize just how big the Empire is. But, They're still at it, huh? Have they been like this the entire time? I'm afraid so. I think we may have underestimated how deeply rooted their differences are. I'm sick of them already. If only they were willing to put aside their differences as Rean and Elisa did. Oh, now that you mention it, I guess you were finally able to make up with him, huh? It's not like we were getting along that poorly. Besides, we haven't known each other long enough to call it making up. That's good news, Rean. Well done. Thanks, I guess. Why does everyone have to make such a big deal out of it? Passenger service bound for Heimdall, now arriving on platform 2. We ask that all customers utilizing this service please wait on the platform until the train has come to a complete stop. Time to go. Well, best of luck. Though here's hoping you don't need it. Getting those two to work together sure doesn't seem like it'll be an easy task. We'll do what we can. Good luck to all of you. Please, take care. It's our first field study. Let's show them what we're made of. Of course. Later. I wonder if they'll be okay. Well, as long as Emma and Gyrus are with them, things shouldn't get too out of hand. Now, Fee, I have absolutely no idea what to expect from her. She doesn't seem like the type to cause any ruckus, at least. I'm concerned about them as well, but I believe we should be focusing on our own trials right now. You're right. Let's go buy our tickets. I guess that one went by too fast. I didn't even bother trying to read it. So it's about an hour to CELDIC from here, right? Yes, I believe so. I had to change trains when I originally came to Trista. Oh, that's right. You're from Rean. That would be in the direction of Bereahard after changing from CELDIC, right? That's correct. After which point, it would be necessary to switch again at Bereahard. It's situated in a very remote part of the country. Well, I guess you could say the same from where I'm from, too. As I understand it, CELDIC is mostly known as a merchant town, right? Yeah, that's been their main source of tourism for some time, mostly thanks to the Grand Market. Couldn't hurt to go over what we know about the town before we get there. As Elliot said, CELDIC is a market town at its core. It's in the eastern province of Kreutzen, and it's been a major trading hub for a very long time. It's also a major interchange station, connecting Heimdall to Bereahard and even Crosspell. The area itself is known for having a large number of granaries. Though this has, of course, been overshadowed in recent years by the aforementioned Grand Market. Virtually anything can be procured there, from farm produce, jewels, and Breahard furs to imported goods from afar. That does sound awfully impressive. I'm kind of looking forward to this now. I would be too if we'd actually had a chance to take in the sights. But there's no telling what kind of crazy thing Instructor Sara has planned for us. Boy, ain't that the truth. I can't even hazard a guess as to what this field study might involve. Being part of our curriculum, though, it's a safe bet to assume it won't be easy. If it were, it would hardly be worth the trip. Personally, I'm looking forward to learning the true nature of our excursion. I suppose it would be a good way to look at it. Well, we'll find our answer when we get there. We're supposed to drop by the inn as soon as we arrive. There should be an envelope waiting for us there with the details of our mission. Yeah, that's right. Still, this whole trip seems eerily well planned out, don't you think? Even station employees knew we were coming. That just goes to show you how high the Academy's expectations are of all of you. Whoa! Instructor. I was wondering why you were nowhere to be seen this morning. Looks like Group A is all present and accounted for. Good, good. And I'm relieved to see that the two of you have finally managed to make up. You say that as if it's old news. Have you been spying on us this whole time? So, what brings you here, Instructor? I thought you were planning on staying back at the Academy. Well, considering this is your first time out in the field, I assumed you'd be positively lost without me. So, I decided to stick around at least until you finish checking in at the inn. Oh, well, thanks, I guess. But I think Group B could have used your help a little more. Would it not have been better for you to accompany the others? Ah, but they'd be a nightmare to deal with. I may still have to go to them, though, if those two get out of control. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. See, she knew full well that Eustace and Machias wouldn't get along, but put them in the same group anyway. I did suspect as much, but it's hard to believe she'd confirm it so nonchalantly. Anyway, don't pay me any mind. You four feel free to keep talking. I didn't get any sleep last night, so I'm just going to take a little nap right here. What? She's asleep already? Incredible. I don't think I've ever seen someone less inclined to be educated than her. Maybe you're better off just letting her sleep. I should probably wake her up when we get to CELDIC though. Yeah, that might be a good idea. I don't think she'd be too happy to find out that you let her ride the train all the way to wherever. When I came to the Academy, I never thought I'd find myself visiting the Grand Market of CELDIC as part of my studies. I've read about it before, but this would be my first time seeing the place in person. Oh, really? Well, field study or no, I guess it's still something to look forward to. Is there anything in particular you're hoping to see? The gems and furs from Breahard, maybe? They say that some of the highest quality goods produced from Breahard's artisans are sold at the Grand Market. That sounds like it'd be worth seeing for sure. Though somehow, I don't think we'd be able to afford anything there. Still, if we get the chance, we should check it out together while we're in town. That sounds like fun. I have to admit, I'm starting to get a little excited about this now. I mean, this is the Grand Market we're talking about. Just be sure not to let it distract you too much from the reason we're going to CELDIC in the first place. Oh, I know. Hey, I almost forgot I had these. I just picked them up on a whim a little while ago. Oh, you have a pack too? I just got a set of my own from the pawn shop in Tristan. Oh, really? That's perfect then. How about we play a few hands? It seems like we've got some time to kill before we arrive. Do you know the rules? Yeah, they're not complicated, so I don't think anyone here would have any trouble picking it up. Well, it does sound like a good way to pass the time to me. Indeed. It seems like it could be an enjoyable diversion. Alright then, let's give it a try. I'm not going to play the Blade game, mostly because, I mean, well, it's basically just like a variation of Uno. And I don't need the bonding points. I can easily get... I'm pretty much maxed out on most of the characters that I want to be maxed out on, and all the other characters will probably be maxed out by the end of the game just through natural progression at this point. So, I'm... You know, if you guys want to see the game, I will play it on the next time I have the opportunity, but for right now, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm so glad I brought these now. Playing this should make our railway journeys go by in no time. I have to recommend a game to Group 3 too. I do wonder what precisely these field study trips will involve. I can't even fathom the guess. Likewise. The weirdest part for me is the divide between Groups A and Group B. Why are we split up and sent to different places? And most bizarrely of all, why were Machias and Eustace put in the same group? It's like they were just asking for trouble. It does seem quite illogical. I can only assume there's a hidden purpose behind these trips beyond what we've been told. Perhaps multiple purposes, requiring multiple groups to fulfill. Yeah, that's my best guess too. There has to be something going on behind the scenes here. Which is why I wanted to ask Instructor Sara a few more questions, but, well... I don't think she's going to be doing much answering. Perhaps she fell asleep deliberately to avoid addressing such concerns. Our instructor is quite the formidable opponent. That's one way to describe her. Guess we're just going to have to work out the meaning of these field study trips on our own. I have no idea what might be waiting for us in CELDIC. But let us be certain that we hold nothing back. Huh? Of course. I wasn't planning on it. She really is fast asleep. Out like a baby. I've never seen even a child fall asleep quite as quickly as that. I know I couldn't. She must have a natural talent for sleeping. Well, let's not disturb her. Ah! Wow! It's beautiful! What a spectacular view. The rye planted last fall seems almost ready for harvesting. Now? I thought rye could only be harvested in the fall. Well, the soil in this area is supposed to be extra fertile due to the warmer climate, so things are a little different here. The view is really amazing, though. It looks like something out of a painting.
The Ministry of Railways wishes to thank all passengers for their patronage. This transcontinental train is bound for Crossbell. The next stop is CELDIC. CELDIC. Passengers traveling to Bereahard. Please change trains at this stop.
Almost there. I guess we should wake Instructor Sara. Yeah, like I said, I don't think she'll be happy winding up in Crossbell.
Wow, so this is CELDIC.
It seems like a really relaxing little town, though there are a lot more people here than I expected.
I imagine they've come for the Grand Market. Even merchants from other countries regularly come to see it.
Sounds like this place is as popular with the tourists as the capital then, but for a whole different set of reasons.
CELDIC's also widely renowned for their local beer, which they make using rye. But you're all still minors, so I'm the only one here who gets to drink it.
Are you trying to make us jealous?
We don't really care, you know.
Anyway, let me show you to the inn. It's, right over there.
Okay.
Let's go.
I want a coat like Sarah's. I love trench coats.
Well, well, I hadn't expected to see the Purple Lightning herself in such a quaint little town. And the chicks with her seem like an interesting lot, too. No time for that now. I have more pressing matters to attend to.
We'll get our orders and I'll wrap things up here. Hey there, Margot. Actually, I think it's Margot. Well, if it isn't Sarah, what are you doing here? I knew the kids would be coming, but I didn't think you'd be coming with them. Oh, I just figured I'd help them get settled in before I left. And here they are, my lovely students. Well, now aren't they a youthful-looking bunch? It's a pleasure to meet you. We're first-year students from Thor's Military Academy, Class 7. I'm Rean. I'm Elisa. Thanks for putting us up. The pleasure's mine, I assure you. I'm Margot, owner of this humble establishment. Sarah here is taking care of all of your arrangements. Come, I'll show you to your room. Thank you, ma'am. Much obliged. I'll leave you to it then. Louise, can I get some beer and snacks? I'll bring them right over. You know, it's not even noon though, right? This will be the room you're all going to be staying in tonight. Wait, we're all... Yeah, this is... Surprise, surprise! More than enough space for our needs. Thank you very much. But there are 4 beds, which means... Are you suggesting we sleep in the same room as the boys? I had my doubts about that too, but Sarah insisted, so that was that. I broke the beds into groups of 2 to make things a little less awkward, but that's the best I could manage. I don't... This is going to be a problem. I don't have a problem with it personally, but I can't imagine the girls being quite as accepting. Elisa, I don't believe we have a choice here. We are military students. We mustn't allow the prospect of mixed gender accommodations to phase us. I know that, but... In the Army, women share rooms with men. That's a fact of life, born of necessity. You will need to adjust to this reality sooner or later, and this does seem like the perfect opportunity. Okay, I get it. But if either of you two come anywhere near our beds, I wouldn't dream of it. Likewise. I wasn't talking about you, Elliot. I was referring to a certain someone who already has a history of this kind of thing. Maybe if we chain Rean to the bed. I thought she'd gotten over that. I guess not. Anyway, now that your room's all sorted out, let me give you this. Isn't that our Academy's emblem? Does it contain the details of our assignment here? That's what I've been told, yes. Well, if you need anything more during your stay, just let me know. For now, I'll leave you to get settled in. Alright, should we have a look inside? Yes. Okay, let's see what we got. Malfunctioning orbital lights. An ingredient for a cure for the common cold. I love the name of some of these quests. They're so punny. And a monster extermination. So, this is our field study? It just looks like a list of menial tasks to me. There is a monster elimination request at least, but that's the most we have. I see. So that's her angle. Excuse me? Did you figure something out? Oh no, it's nothing. We should go and talk this over with Instructor Sara. She's probably stuck around specifically to answer any questions we might have. You may be right. And while we're at it, we can grill her about this communal room she signed us up for, too. Give it a rest, Elisa. Alright, let's go talk to Sara, and then I'll wrap it up. She's already plastered.
Nothing hits the spot quite like a cold beer.
She looks like she's having the time of her life.
How many pints has she downed already? It's not even noon.
Oh, you kids are still here? I'll just be hanging back and enjoying myself, so go on ahead and get started. Don't mind me.
We have questions for you, though. What's with these field study tasks?
I'm glad they're not as difficult as I was expecting, but they're just so...
Well, it makes sense you'd have some doubts. You only need to do the ones it says are required, though. Feel free to just ignore the rest if you want. I don't care. Up to you how much or how little you want to do.
Stop being so irresponsible and...
Wait. These kinds of decisions are as much a part of our field study as the tasks themselves.
Oh, what?
What do you mean?
You have 2 days. Trista isn't far from here, so you'll be returning to the academy tomorrow evening. Until then, you can spend your time here however the 4 of you see fit. Every decision rests on your shoulders. I won't be forcing you to do a thing.
Okay, so what's up? You have this look in your eyes like you pieced something together. Well, does this relate in some way to our free day this last week? Specifically, to your activities during that time? Oh! Yeah, now that you mention it... Exactly. I spent this past free day doing various tasks on behalf of the student council. And, while one of them did involve going back into the old schoolhouse, the rest were just simple requests for assistance from the locals. In other words, exactly the sort of thing we've been asked to do here. And by the time I'd taken care of everything, I felt like I'd learned a lot about Trista and the Academy. So I think we've been given similar tasks here for similar reasons. That would definitely make sense. I mean, all I know about CELDIC is what I've read. There's probably a lot we can learn by actually coming here and helping the people out like this. Indeed, the land of Erebonia is quite vast. This may be an invaluable opportunity to gather local knowledge from a place we may otherwise have never visited. Yeah, exactly. So whatever various and sundry tasks Instructor Sara has planned for us, I say we work our way down the list while immersing ourselves in the CELDIC culture, taking in as much as we can. Sounds good to me. Count me in. This actually sounds pretty exciting when you put it that way. Shall we depart then? Alrighty! We will worry about doing the free day, or not the free day, the actual tasks at hand after this. In the meantime, in our next episode. I'm not going to continue on with this recording. But yeah, thank you for joining me. This was Archive 12, and we will see you in the next video.